Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Danielle Stolt, Anything Goes. I am an entrepreneur and a mom and many things in life. And I thought that today I've learned over the years many ways to manage our time. I know we're all busy parents or people, and we always have things that we're doing. So if you have a time challenge, I would love to hear what that is. So go ahead and put that in the comments, or if you just want to jump on and say hi, so I know that you're there, I would love to see and know more about you. So I'm going to be breaking down about 8 different tips today that you can certainly use to hopefully succeed more and get more done in your day, your week, your month, wherever you need time in your life. And I want more time so I can spend more time with my family. Who wouldn't, right? So, first of all, I my suggestion to you is break it all down. You need to break things down into, I do it as A, B, C, and then a project list. Okay. So basically 4 segments you're going to be breaking it down into. A is your must-do list. Like you have something coming up, you have a specific timeline. For instance, to make dinner tonight, I need to go to the store and get the ingredients to use to make dinner. That's a must do. Your B list would be things that may not be as crucial for today, for right now. So it's something that you can do possibly tomorrow, in 3 days from now. But it still has a time sensitive criteria to it. Okay. So, like, let's say that you are going to be doing some kind of art show. Obviously, there's many things that go along with getting that set up and prepared and maybe doing a preview night. Well, that's time sensitive. If that's next Wednesday, then all of those things may be on your B list, right? Your C list is your wish list. These are things I wish I can do this month. I wouldn't be so aggressive as to say take it as far as a year. I would personally put that on my projects list. Okay. So if you think it's something that you're going to complete in the year 2020, that would be on your project list. If it's something that you'd really have been dreaming about doing, that would go on your list C, which is your wish list. Like, it's almost springtime. I'd really love to have a garden this year in my yard. So you can put that on your C list. I mean, for March. Okay. I wouldn't really go past a 4 week period. So that way these things are broken down, they're small, they're achievable, they're specific goals, and you will get things done and accomplished that way. It's easier that way because then you'll feel good about getting things done and you won't forget what you still have yet to do. And you don't want to be moving things from list to list to list. So, again, break them down small enough that you can handle them, get them done in your certain time frame that you're establishing for each A, B, C, and your project list. Um, Something really wonderful that I don't know if everybody knows, but you thrive on dopamine. Dopamine is what makes us very, very, very happy in life. Okay. And to have a list and for us to check something off or to do that swipe that says, I crossed that off my list, that gives you the biggest rush that you need for your day. And the more you get off your list, the more you keep crossing it off. That is going to be what you're chasing. Okay. Specifically women, we love to not always have something to do. Every person probably is like that. But what we love even more is getting something accomplished so we can cross it off our list. And that's because you're getting your dopamine high. And that is the best natural high you could ever get. And it will keep you very happy, which is a very important thing. Happy mama, then I say everything else will be okay. All right. Second, we have to be able to ask for help. Okay. What I do is maybe around the middle of the week, I start telling my family, hey, so this weekend, I was really hoping to clean out the garage. I want to let you guys know that I know you have sports on Saturday and I know you're doing this and you're going for haircuts. So I was hoping sometime between X and X on Saturday, we could all do that. Does that work for you? Promote a conversation. Make sure everyone's involved. Listen to their answers, whether they're 3 years old or they're, 21 years old. If your family's involved, make sure that they're all on board. Just to say, I need your help. I'm asking for your help. This is what I was hoping for. Can we figure something out with everybody's schedule? I find that that worked so much better, especially in my marriage, because they can't read your mind. They don't know what you got going on. And you know what? I don't know what plans my 10-year-old just made with FaceTime and texting and play dates and playing gaming and all of those things. So to give somebody a heads up is a wonderful thing. Then it's not a surprise. It's not last minute. Nobody's cranky. Nobody's angry. You know how that goes. All right. And you don't want to spend your time being mad, angry, or with those cranky people. All right. I got better things to do with my time. Okay. So giving a heads up, communicating, asking for help is number 2. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. All right. Third, I delegate help in my life. I have to. I have to have some type of structure or to know that I can't be Wonder Woman and do all things. All right. That's just not a realistic lifestyle for any human being. Whether you're single, whether you have a huge family, whether you have no family, whether you just have pets, it doesn't matter. As long as you're a person on the planet, you should be able to delegate help to others if they're in your life. Okay. So that means you're going to have to be very close ended and it's going to have to be very specific. So let's just take Thursdays, for example. We have garbage every Friday pickup and every other Friday is recyclable pickup. So my children know that they are to go around and they know where they're supposed to do it, walk them through it the first time so you can show them what you expect, and they collect the garbage. I put it on the calendar, they rotate every other week, so they're not always doing the same thing. They get a break next week and then they can go to it the week after. There's no arguing, it's simply on a calendar. I just put their initials. That's every Thursday. They know what's expected of them. You don't have to remind them, which is wonderful. That's one less thing off your list. You don't need to be their keeper of that chore. That's delegated. That is for them to do now. Not to say that if it's a brand new thing that they're doing, that you won't need to do those little nudge reminders. And do it in a nice way, do it in a happy way. Say, hey, sweetie, did you happen to, right? I find that your tone that you use when you're reminding people and things like that, it's important. That may just, set your day in the right direction. All right. So think about how you'd want someone to tell you that. Delegation is wonderful. Doesn't mean they're always going to do it your way. So keep an open mind. Okay. As long as the end result of the task is getting done, people, it doesn't matter how they do it. And you don't, I believe that everybody should be who they are. So if they want to do trash a different way than I do it, by all means, as long as they're all empty at the end of the day and it gets in the trash can to be out at the curb for Friday morning, that is it. I am a happy woman and it's crossed off my list, right? So number 4, these are big ones. I call social media a time sucker. We get lost for hours on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Amazon, internet. We can be texting our friends. We can be emailing people, catching up on this, playing this game, right? So there's all kinds of things out there in the world that will distract us. So first, let's talk about emails. When I think there's a good approach to emails. I say this because I'll give you the reasons why I back this up. I think that you should have a dedicated time of every day that you use specifically for emails. So let's say you first get into work in the morning. The first thing I would do is check my emails to say, what is it I'm going to have on my plate today? What are they going to surprise me with? Right? And what have I not responded to? Then this is a great idea because if you have specific times of the day that you check email, first of all, you will set an expectation that first, you're not a reactive responder. You don't want to be reactive in your response. A lot of times an email can trigger you to be defensive right in that moment, and you're going to and then you're going to not feel good about that response later. You need time to process things you may find in an email. Information that you weren't aware of that maybe got added to your project, or something someone's delegating you to do now or signed you up for. Isn't that nice of them? But it happens, right? It happens to the best of us. So this helps you to also be proactive, okay? So this way, you know that I check my emails every morning when I get to work. I'm going to check them every day after lunch, which could be 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then right before I go home, I check them one last time. So you have a dedicated time frame, and you're not going to react poorly and send an emotional response. This way, people can expect you set an expectation of how long it takes you to reply. In most cases, unless you're in the medical field, or you are in a career where you're saving lives, a fireman, policeman, all those people, then it's ask yourself this question: is anybody going to die if I don't answer this right now? Usually the answer is no. Okay. And if you're always responding the second that you get an email, or for that matter, a text, it just sets the bar too high. Because next time, when you don't respond that quickly, there's a lot of stories they're going to make up in their head about, why are you not responding? Are you okay? Did you die? What has happened to you? You always respond in less than 5 minutes. I always see that dot, 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 like you're responding. So if you have emails and you have things that are set in a timed space, then people can come to set that expectation that you provide for them. Okay. So you're not setting yourself up to fail. Another thing, this is my biggest, best one, number 5, unsubscribe to all those junk emails you do not need. Because I'm going to tell you, when you wake up and you want to get things done in your day, and you have that list, that A list that you're doing today, or you're at work and you're like, I have got to get this report out today. I can't let my day go wrong, right? I got to stay on top of my time. Well, let me tell you, these emails from, I'm just making it up, but we'll say Walmart and Target and Amazon, and somebody who you don't even know wants to give you a loan, and a home's for sale. And you know what I'm talking about. Well, if you unsubscribe to all of those, or you can simply just sit there and highlight a bunch of them and drag them to your spam. Now they can't get back in your inbox. Okay. They're going to have to go around and figure another way, but they'll figure it out. But instead of your email dictating your time and sucking your time away from your day, get rid of them all. It's a huge time saver in my life. I know it takes time to go unsubscribe, but even if you're just highlighting and dragging them to spam, you don't need to see that every day. It's a distraction, and then it's taking over what your time is being spent on, because now you're just spending it on junk and things you don't really need to be involved in anyway. All right. So I feel that is a huge, huge, huge time saver. Okay. Emails are supposed to be providing you knowledge, providing you information. Okay. You're not going to sit down and write your life story in an email. Maybe you are for some specific reason, but write a blog, do it somewhere else. Okay. I'm mostly speaking professionally, but even if it's just with your family, like, hey, we moved our dinner to Thursday night at 8 o'clock. That's informational. You send that email. You can time your emails. You can delay your emails. Okay. There are ways to make sure that that's not consuming your entire life. Number 6, establish family time. So maybe you and your husband don't see each other. One travels a lot. Maybe you work all the time. Maybe you spend all your time with the kids, running them from here to there. Or maybe you just need some self-time. I would say, sit down, talk about it, have a conversation, and decide, hey, you know what? We get home a little bit earlier on Wednesdays. Like, out of the blue, my husband came home and said, hey, Wednesday night is going to be family night. You guys have early release from school, and I'm going to make sure that I don't work on Wednesday nights. And I know mom doesn't do her lives for her boutique on Wednesday night. So that's when we have no screen time. We make dinner together, we have dinner together. We do that mostly every night. But then after dinner every week, we somebody gets to pick what we get to do. Do we rent a movie? Do we go to a movie? If it's nice out, do we go walk the dogs? Whatever we want to fill our evening with. We can play a board game, but it's all about getting that face time because we are humans. We need interaction. We need to see your beautiful faces, as I say. All right. Um, it's very easy to get lost in your day and lost in this world of all of these busy things that we just don't want to have in our day. It's not to say that because you picked Wednesday, you may also say, well, Sunday afternoon's a great time for us to do it. So maybe next week you do it on Wednesday because it works for you. And maybe the week after you do that on Sunday. And you have at least a couple options for everybody that that works for everybody. So they're all available. Okay. If you need self time, say, hey, why don't we all take 30 minutes to ourselves this evening and then, you know, come back together. That's also something that's really important. I mean, that's a long time to sit and have to yourself. So take it. You deserve it. We all need it, right? That'll make you happy. It gives you that dopamine you need. 7, I'm going to challenge you on a weekend, on a Saturday or Sunday, if you are a family that has, Monday through Friday. That's what I'm talking about. If you're not and your days off maybe are Monday or Tuesdays and Thursdays, then you'll get what I'm saying. Take time out of that day, pick the day, make sure everyone's aware of it, communicate it, and say, we're not going to have any TV time. Turn off the TV. Okay. Some of you may not already be TV people, which is wonderful, but I'm going to challenge you to start with 30 minutes. I love Saturday. Saturday is like my most favorite day of the week, besides Thursdays, because I just have a lot of energy. My day can be whatever we want it to be. Maybe there's things that are already scheduled that I'm looking forward to doing. So it's like socialization day. It's get things done around my house day, work on a project day, whatever we want to do day. But if you start with 30 minutes and you have small, achievable tasks that you want to get done, you can do it. You will not believe how much time 30 minutes is and how much you can get off your plate. Like, for instance, if I say, hey, we're turning off the TV between 12 and 2 o'clock on Saturday, and we're going to clean that garage out, and oh, you guys don't want to, you're done, you need a break, go walk the dog. Well, that only took 8 minutes to go around the block. If you set aside 30 minutes, you have 22 minutes left. Maybe read your favorite magazine. Maybe sit down and paint your nails. Maybe turn on your curling iron and curl your hair. Maybe go wash your hair. Maybe put makeup on. I don't know what it is that you would like to do, but if you really break things down and see how long they take in your day, a lot of them are just a few minutes here and there. And if you have that dedicated time where you don't have a screen on, especially your TV, and everybody's just not being a couch potato, you're going to get that done, especially if you've already asked for that time from everybody and also to help you with it. So I challenge you to start with 30 minutes, go to an hour, and then go to 2 hours. You wouldn't believe the freedom and how much more you will love the quality of that day. I love those quality days when it's just, you're just really living in the moment of life. And it's wonderful. Okay. All right. So last one. So I wanted to say there that we can all sit and watch HGTV and boom, 7 hours of our day goes by just like that. And so I think you can relate to that, right? So number 8 is to remember to have a realistic items that you can do. Make sure they're achievable. Ask yourself the question, which list does this really go to? A, B, C, or is it on my project list? So say, is anybody going to die if I don't do this today? And if the answer is no, then it certainly should be on your B list already. If you know you're going to get to it this month, put it on that C list. If you know you're going to get to it this year, then put it on the project list. Okay. Be open-minded, have a very healthy perspective about your time. Look at it as something you can't buy back, okay? Respect your time. Respect the time of others around you. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the saying, people say, thank you for your time. I heard a story once where somebody said they always went and helped their neighbor, Mr. Jones. And Mr. Jones, every single time the little boy neighbor would come over and he would cut the grass, Mr. Jones would say, thank you for your time. And he would come over and he would pull up his trash cans and he would say, oh, geez, that was so nice of you. Thank you for your time. Well, when that little boy grew up and he became a young man and he was heading off to college, Mr. Jones, his neighbor, actually gave him his father's watch as a gift for leaving for college. And he said, you always made time for me. And I always appreciated your time. And he was like, thank you for your time. And that just stayed with him the rest of his life. And he paid it forward and on and shared his story. And obviously, I'm nobody and I've heard of it. So it is special. It is healthy to ask others around you, what were you planning to do this weekend? Listen to what they have to say. Okay. Establish those healthy boundaries. If you know your child has soccer on Monday and Thursday, please do not ask more of them on those days. Do not, right? They've got school. They've been told what to do all day long. They've got to race home, eat that dinner, hopefully you have made for them, jump in your car, race over to practice, get home from practice, jump in the shower, hurry up so they're not late for bed. And you're feeling it too, right? You don't want to spend your day like that. That's not joyful. That's not mindful. That's not being present because they're already having anxiety about the things that they have to get done in this day. And they sometimes on a Monday, who wakes up and wants to do all that anyway? Not all of us, right? Especially on a Monday. If it's a Friday or Saturday, that's totally different. If it's a real game, that's totally different. You know, if you're playing your friend on another team, that's different. So I just want to say establish those healthy boundaries and fit these things in where everyone has time to do them. Another wonderful thing we do at dinner that I will close with is we have no screen time. We all, even if you are visiting my house, every child knows this, they have to pick a spot for their electronics because I don't play the let's find your phone game the whole time they're visiting. So they have to pick a spot and they're responsible for it. And at every meal, there's no electronics allowed at our dinner table. That is the 20 to 30 minutes that I get to see their beautiful faces and they get all huffy and puffy about it. But you know what? You should be asking them, how's their day? What did they do today? And oddly enough, my kids ask me, so what did you do today, Mom? How did your day go? Oh, did you have that meeting you were expecting to have? And did it go good? Like they get excited for you. You want to know about their friends and their projects and what they're doing, or what your husband did at work today, or when his next trip is. And if you don't have that 20, 30 minutes of their time, their undivided attention, you will never find those things out. And it doesn't even always have to be. It could just be something fun you're talking about, or what you're going to be doing this vacation that's coming up, or where does everybody want to go, or what are we eating tomorrow? It can be as boring as that. But that no screen time is really important. And actually, statistics do show if you actually eat dinner with your family and your children's beautiful little faces on a regular, consistent basis, it is has been proven that your children will more likely grow up to be in a less, let's see, basically the chances of them creating an addiction or um, going to, let's say, hang out with not the crowd you'd prefer that they do, just by spending those 20, 30 minutes each day, knowing who they are, who they're with, what they're doing, as well as your spouse, your significant other, your best friend, whoever it is you live with, your roommate, that's going to really, really help them because you don't really realize what you're saying or what you're talking about until 5 years later when they say, gosh, I remember when my dad said something at dinner about that years ago. I'm not going to be tempted by those things. And I'm glad that he had that conversation with me. And it really might change a decision that they can make later just because you simply gave them your time and your undivided attention. So I want to thank you all for tuning in, watching this video. I hope I gave you some helpful tips. These are things I've collected over the years that I've been dying to share with you. So go have a wonderful day. Remember to stay kind. Remember to be sweet. And if you love what I'm wearing, you can always find it at shoploveyourtodayboutique.com. If you are a gamer and you want to be inspired by a child gamer, please follow my son. He is Sneaky Ops YT on YouTube, and he would love to have you join him and subscribe to his channel. If you liked what you see here today, go ahead and hit subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and be sure you're spreading the joy and the love and being kind to one another. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. I will see you soon.